guys, my name is Zach, and today I'm going to do another rotary themed ASMR video. If you'd like to see my last video, I'll leave a link to it in the description below as well as at the end of the video. So today we have the gauge cluster from my 1985 Mazda Rx-7 known as Rose. It's pretty much the headlining car for this channel for quite some time, and if you guys know, I got rid of it last year due to a rust issue, but this is the actual gauge cluster. And so today we're going to be taking it apart, and I figured it'd kind of be fun to do as an ASMR video. So I will be changing the camera view, and we're going to take apart this gauge cluster. But maybe I'll do some tapping on it. We'll see if we can do the Speedometer, see if we can get some noise off of that. Change the camera angle, and we're going to start taking apart this gauge cluster. Now, before I get started, I want you guys to know that I'm not doing this to make fun of ASMR. I actually listen, wow, I can't speak. I actually listen to ASMR almost every single night before I go to bed. I think it's a really good sleep aid, and I've always been interested. I've always wanted to try to do it myself. So, without further ado, really all you need to take apart this gauge cluster is a Phillips head screwdriver. So, we'll start on that now. You see a lot of jump cuts in this video. It's probably because right over there where my finger's pointing, that is our, I guess, water closet, if you want to call it that. We have a sump pump because I am in the basement and we are underground. So every time the water goes off, it sounds like a giant toilet is flushing. And no one wants to hear that in an ASMR video. Also, these screws at the top are very hard. I don't know if these are correct or not. Okay. Try to keep my bolts somewhat organized. Now we can take off the plastic. Wait, before we do that, we have to take the little knob off of the Speedometer, and just like that, the plastic is off, and you can see fully into the gauges. Now, if we want to take this hood off, have to flip it over. And on the back there are two more Phillips head screws. But if we look at the back right here, that's where the Speedo cable goes into. So that's how your speedometer goes, and there's a cable that runs from right here all go into your transmission. So now I'll flip this around for visual effect. There we go. So now we have just our gauges, and as you could probably maybe tell, they're all four separated. So they're all actually different gauges, so we could take out the tachometer, the speedometer, the coolant and fuel, and the, why am I blanking, oil pressure and voltage. So it's a Speedo Needle. So there are two tiny screws on either side of the needles. So it appears as though this Phillips head screwdriver is not small enough for the screws on the gauge faces, so I will grab another one. So we're gonna have to cut. Sorry. Okay, we're back with another screwdriver. Hopefully this works. Yes, it does. So now that we have the two screws out of the tachometer, you just pull the needle off like so, and then the whole face comes off. So there's just a little plastic. That's it. That's the whole gauge face, and then you have this actual thicker, clear plastic behind it that's kind of made to diffuse the light, so it's not just so, you know. Alright, so now we'll do the speedometer. I don't know if I said the tachometer. That was the tachometer. Now we'll take off the speedometer. Now, the speedometer needle is a lot harder to get off than the tachometer. I don't know why, but this one gave me some trouble last time I did this. And then just pull up. There it is, same material as the tachometer. Very nice. I'll keep these separate just so I don't lose track of everything. And now we get a really good view of the odometer. That's pretty neat. So the odometer, you can actually actually sort of hear the reset. So when I reset the trip odometer, it's very mechanical. I can get some good clicking noises out of manually turning the trip odometer. You can tell the decimal point of the mileage is at a much different ratio than the rest of it. So listen, this is regular miles. And this is the, decimal point. Has a lot more teeth. And then to reset it, it's very satisfying. So, that is the inner working of the gauges. To remove the outside gauges of the oil pressure, battery voltage, fuel, and coolant, there are 2 screws at the top and 2 screws at the bottom for each one, and then you have to slide them out. The reason I'm not taking them off in this video is because, one, they're an absolute pain in the neck to get back on, but secondly, these needles, they seem like they'll bend very easily, and I'd like to use this gauge cluster in my new FB, the blue car. So I don't want to break these or bend them any more than I already have. So I don't know if you can see on video. There's 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 2 screws here, and then you have to kind of finagle them out. So at this point in the video, we're going to start reassembling, but we'll do some tapping and such before we do that. I think it's funny how at the bottom here it actually says FB, FA54B with some Japanese stamp right here. I thought, oh, that's really funny that they put FB on it, to say that it's from an FB chassis. Well, I actually also have an FC chassis gauge cluster up in my room that I also took apart. It says FB on it, so that actually doesn't have anything to do with the fact that it's an FB. So, to reinstall everything, we're going to start off, obviously, with the 2 gauges. Then we'll put the hood back on, and then, of course, the plastic cover. So here we go. honest, I can't remember which was the speedometer and which was the odometer, but they look pretty much the same. I think this was the odometer. Okay, now for the speedometer. Doesn't seem to want to sit correctly. So we're going to start off with this plate. And then we'll put the speedometer over it. And then the screws. These screws don't want to thread. Oh, I think they found their home. Yep, there they go. These old 80s plastics, you kind of have to sort of persuade them at times. Now we put the needle back on. Just like that, the gauges are back together. Now for the speedometer, you can only kind of reset it to the left, because at the right, it's just like it's accelerating. So you have to keep pushing it until it's at 0. And if you don't get it right, you go a little too far. You gotta push it all the way back around again. It's like a rotary phone. Also, what's interesting, at least to me, is that these turn signals, it's just green squares. The arrows are actually part of the hood, which is interesting to me. These bolts don't seem like they want to thread on their own, which you should never force something, so let me try it again. know if that sounds good or not. itch my neck. We just have the front cover. See if maybe this blue one, I don't know why I just tried talking into the screwdriver, maybe this blue one with the cool grip will be better. It's got one of those like rubberized grips. Just like that, there we have it. The gauge cluster's all back together. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more rotary ASMR videos, let me know. I'd love to make more. Hopefully this was kind of not only relaxing but informational. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys.